Now for the truth about what it takes to get to the truth in a place like Myanmar. As the death toll rises in the Southeast Asian country, there are hardly any journalists able to operate. Newsrooms have been raided, reporters have been arrested, internet connections have been mostly cut off. What we do see is usually from citizen journalists or activists who are able to get video out. All of this, all these scenes, are because the military is in control. But pro-democracy protesters want their country back. That's why it's vital for journalists to supply the world with first-hand accounts of the situation. Vital, but incredibly difficult. CNN's Clarissa Ward, Brent Swales, and Scott McWhinney pulled it off this week under far from perfect conditions. The military allowed the CNN team into the country, escorting them everywhere, controlling their movements, but still, the CNN journalists were able to see and hear the resistance. Brave calls for democracy. And some of those citizens were detained just for speaking to CNN. This reporting trip was quite controversial in some quarters. So let's hear the story behind the story now. Clarissa Ward is back in London, and she is joining me. Clarissa, when you arrived there started to be news stories about you being there. This is pretty unusual that, you were noticed. Myanmar citizens spread the word about you being there. And some were worried that you were there doing the military's bidding, basically. How did you approach this?
So I think, listen, it's always a difficult situation when the only way to get into a country is to go through the brutal, oppressive regime that is responsible for the massacres that are happening. So you have to ask yourself, what are the potential merits? What are the potential pitfalls? And this is a situation we find ourselves in, Brian, over and over again as journalists, whether it be in Syria, whether it be in North Korea. We're often faced with this very difficult choice. In this case, we felt it was so vital to go into Myanmar, to have the opportunity to directly confront the junta with their brutality, because those local journalists that you mentioned, who have been doing extraordinary work, who are braver than I could ever imagine being, the one thing they can't do, for their obvious security reasons, is to sit down with the senior leadership of the military and say, how can you call this a cycling accident when you're showing them a video of some man being shot dead in cold blood? And so that's why we made the determination that it was worth going. And you have to be transparent about the way in which you're going there. And you have to be sure that you hold feet to the fire. What I had never anticipated, Brian, was that the minute word spread among the Myanmar people that we were there, it went viral. I suddenly was getting thousands and thousands of messages on social media from people saying, listen, we know you can't see us, but we hope you can hear us. And that was incredibly moving. It was incredibly intense to have that level of scrutiny. But certainly for me, I think all of the team felt like we have to rise to this occasion. We have to do justice to these people's story because they're watching closely and they deserve better.
What about the residents who were detained when they spoke with you? You were walking through these markets. People were coming up to you wanting to speak, and you must have been weighing this risk reward of whether they were going to be in more danger because they were talking to you.
So, obviously it's every journalist's worst nightmare, okay, that somebody talks to you and faces a reprisal for doing that. So we were so cautious. When we were out in this market, we did not approach a single person. We were not even expecting people to approach us. The first thing we did when people started coming up to us was to say, are you aware of the fact we're here with the military? We're completely surrounded by security forces. And they said, yeah, we are. We know. And we're not afraid. And we want to tell our story. And at that point, you have to make a very difficult decision, Brian, because is it my job to deny these people their chance to have their voice heard? They are grown adults. They understand the risks. And by the way, once they approached us to talk to us, even if we hadn't recorded those conversations, there were probably going to be consequences to pay for it. So what we felt was the right thing to do was to give them that opportunity to tell their side of the story. And then the minute we knew they'd been detained, we did not stop lobbying for 1 minute to get them released. We sat across from that general and we said to him, you must release these people. We had him concede on camera that no crime had been committed, and we continue to follow up with them on a daily basis to make sure they're okay and to make sure they don't face any further reprisals for doing such a simple and small but incredibly brave thing as saying, we want democracy.
And unfortunately, Myanmar is not the only country where we're seeing democracy threatened, where we're seeing repression of these populations. This is happening around the world. So it would seem to me that what you're describing, this reporting process, is going to have to continue in various places in the same way it has in North Korea in the past and other countries.
Yeah, and I think what's really important to keep in mind, Brian, is, this is just one part of the puzzle, right? We went in on the ground, the first journalists to be able to fly in since the coup began. But our colleagues at CNN, Paula Hancock, Ivan Watson, they have also been doing extraordinary reporting on Myanmar. While we were on the ground, they were doing pieces, heavy-hitting pieces, incredibly damning to the Myanmar military junta. So no one was pulling any punches here. And whenever you're covering a conflict, whether it's Syria, you might have me and Arwa Damon in with the rebels, Fred Pleitgen in with the regime in Damascus. You have to approach it from multiple angles. That's how you go about doing good reporting and giving a fuller picture to a story.
And that's what we have to do. Do you hope you'll be able to go back to Myanmar someday?
I very much hope I'll be able to go back. I have been completely overwhelmed and profoundly humbled by the incredible outpouring from people there who are so grateful to have just one opportunity to have their voices amplified across the world, particularly in the U.S. They want people to be engaged with what's happening. They want people to care. They want people to really try to put pressure on their governments to try to do something to resolve this terrible situation. It's unlikely I'm going to be invited back by the military after this last trip, but you can be sure that all of us at CNN will keep reporting this story and keep holding their feet to the fire, Brian.
Clarissa, thank you so much.